I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, November the 7th, brought to you in part by Performance Livestock Analytics, owned by the original co-founders, both from Osage, Iowa. That is farmer feeder country, guys. Performance Beef is a software designed by cattle producers for cattle producers. It simplifies feeding, performance, and health data recording. For more information, go to performancelivestockanalytics.com. Too big to rig. I'm not going to be talking about politics much on the feeder flash as we go forward because there won't be any need for it to, but you got to let me gloat here one more time. I wasn't for sure that Trump had won the election on the last feeder flash, but I had suspected that he had, but thank God. He won the popular vote. He just cleaned house. I mean, it was just historical the way that he won the election, and just have to give credit to everybody that voted for him. I want to give particular credit to the Amish and Mennonite communities. And you think, well, you know, are they that big a deal? I talked and heard from people in Iowa, people in Pennsylvania, people in Ohio that said, boy, the Amish and Mennonite really come out for Trump. And apparently the phone polls didn't work on them, so that was maybe one reason they got it so wrong on the polls there. But thanks to those wholesome people that were standing up for the things that they believe in and voted for Trump. And President Trump actually improved his support from literally every demographic that there was. So that is a resounding victory there. We're so happy that it did. I mean, Wednesday was just a great day to be an American. I heard somebody say that my breath of fresh air was more affordable than it was on Tuesday. And, you know, that kind of has something said in that. But I tell you what, we have avoided liberal, socialist-leaning leadership or lack thereof, and my God, thank God that we've missed that, and we can get back to something a little bit more wholesome and a little bit more American, and start going forward here from now on. But I tell you what, everything on Wednesday was up. Everybody's mood was brighter. When you walk down the street, people were speaking to you more quickly. And, you know, the stock market was up over 1,500 points, the best day it had in 2 years. Commodities were mostly all higher. Suddenly the Middle East wants to agree to a ceasefire just from electing a real leader with a set of nuts. But I tell you what, it's just great to be able to say that we won, and there indeed is more of us than there are of them. So we just thank God for that. But I'm glad that we've kind of put that identity politics on the back burner. And you remember that President Magoo literally said whenever he decided to choose a running mate that they were going to be of color and they were going to be a woman. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he never said anything about picking somebody that was best suited for the job. Well, it turns out that we were right about President Magoo all along. He ain't right. He hasn't been right for a long time now. Everybody is agreeing to that. But tell you what, it was a great day to be an American on Wednesday, and we're just so happy that things turned out the way they did. And like I said, now we won't have to talk about politics on the feeder flash much going forward. But let's talk about something fun. How about the Punchy Pick of the Month contest? And we've been giving you guys a lot of contests here. But apparently people are enjoying them because I can't believe the feedback we've got from the 10-year anniversary. contests that we've been holding this week. My inbox is completely full of people giving answers to the questions that we've been asking to win the prizes, but it's just kind of fun, you know. But the Punchy Pick of the Month, that's something that we've been doing for a long time, and we plan on keep doing for a long time. Couldn't do it without our sponsors, Beaver Feed Company in Beaver, Oklahoma. Of course, they give a bunch of swag to the winner of the Punchy Pick of the Month every month. Beaver County Stockyards, and then of course FerAppease, they donate that whole case of FerAppease, that revolutionary product that is scientifically proven. I'm going to attach a video to the end of this feeder flash to remind you of how that stuff works and how it could work for you, especially in your weaning process. But let's talk about your board. On Wednesday, December live cattle futures were up 62 cents at 185.40. February was up 77 at 186.72. Your back months were all up 80 cents to $1.35 higher. November feeder cattle up 155 at 247.70. January was up 167 at 244.02. And then your back months on feeder cattle were all up from 115 to 220 higher. And you guys are not going to make me believe it didn't have something to do with the outcome of the election. Let's talk about your grains. Corn was up 7 3/4 cents a bushel at 426 1/4. January beans up 2 cents at 10.03 3/4. Hard red winter wheat for December down 2 3/4 cents at 5.74. Talk about your fat cattle trade, brought to you from Legacy Beef Cooperative, guys. If you want to own a share of a new packing plant and give yourself the opportunity to ship cattle into that plant and be paid according to the wholesale beef price, you want to look at Legacy Beef Cooperative. But we didn't see any direct trade at all on Wednesday, of course, because the board was higher. Your feedlots were not going to sell cattle any cheaper, so didn't see any trade at all, and that's kind of the way things go. When the board is up and we haven't established a market yet, we're not going to see any trade on a higher board, but we did see some fat cattle auctions and some size to them. Sioux Falls Regional Livestock in Worthing, South Dakota had 1,500 head of slaughter cattle, including the cows. Conventional fat cattle in Worthing, South Dakota sold steady from 184 to 190. The program cattle had no premium to them, and they sold from 184 to 189. Glacial Lakes Livestock in Watertown, South Dakota had about 700 head of slaughter cattle. Conventional fat steers and heifers brought 185 to 189. That was $2 lower than last week, which was kind of the way they sold in Yankton at our biggest fat cattle auction on Tuesday. But program fed cattle in Watertown, South Dakota brought a slight premium from 188 to 191. Fat fed cows in Watertown sold from 130 to 140. Box beef cutout values were lower, and that was about the only thing that was lower that we saw. But choice cuts were down 162 at 315.59. Your selects down 204 at 283.20. Your slaughter catching up a little bit with last week and a year ago with your estimated cattle slaughter for through the first 3 days of the week, 369,000, which was exactly the same as the previous week at the same point, and just 5,000 less than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Well, we're having fun with the 10-year anniversary contest, and it's hard to believe that we're celebrating 10 years of the Feeder Flash, almost 2,400 episodes. That's more than Gunsmoke, I think, and even more than MASH. But of course, we do it every day of the week or every business day. But we've been having a good time with our big sponsors and our listeners. And the contest winner on Wednesday was Paul Case from Quapaw, Oklahoma. He had the correct answer to the question, and he was drawn randomly from those correct answers there, and he is going to get the swag bag from Midwest Ag, and also the swag bag from the sale barns. But our contest for Thursday here, and it is brought to you by FerAppease and Dr. Rodrigo there. And of course, we talk about FerAppease all the time. They're one of our best sponsors, and I think we're doing a good job for them because they are a household name now. And you guys know that if you're putting your cattle under stress, it will sure help alleviate that stress if you treat those cattle with very affordable FerAppease, and it's just a topical product. Don't have to poke another hole in them or anything like that. But FerAppease is going to be giving a $300 gift card to Cavender's Boot City for the winner of this contest, and then you will also get the swag bag from the sale barns that have participated in this contest here for the 10-year anniversary. But the question for Thursday, and you can just email the correct answer to feederflash@nationalbeefwire.com. You're automatically entered. And it's kind of ironic that it's a Texas A&M study we're going to be asking you about. I'm here in College Station, Texas, and you think the optimism isn't running deep. I saw open Bramer heifer bring $50,000 at the Brahman Congress show sale, and oh my gosh, very impressive sale. Didn't have a lot of lots there, but they all brought big money for your Brahman cattle there. But for your FerAppease question, a Texas A&M study concluded that FerAppease reduced mortality due to bovine respiratory disease by what percentage in that test that they ran? So give the correct answer to that. Send it to feederflash@nationalbeefwire.com along with your name and your address. If you get it correct and we draw you randomly, you will win the $300 gift card from Cavender's by FerAppease and the sale barn swag bag. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DVAuction late in the day on Wednesday, sitting at $250 smooth. That's $2.50 for an 800-pound on the average cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states. That's down 16 cents from the end of Tuesday's trade. Your latest CME cash feeder cattle index sitting at 250.72. Some big sales that you don't want to forget about that's happening here on Thursday is they are going to be having a special cow sale at Joplin Regional Stockyards that starts at 4:30 in the afternoon. They've got about 1,000 head on that sale. It's going to be on DVAuction. That is going to be after the primetime livestock video sale. They've got a lot of lots of loads of calves and yearlings on that primetime livestock video there. It is also going to be on DVAuction 1:00 p.m. here on Thursday. Down in the southeast, Elite Livestock Sales near Montgomery, Alabama. They're going to be having their monthly video, and they've got several loads of true yearlings and long-time weaned calves, home-raised weaned calves there from the southeast, and the quality is much better than what you guys might think immediately. You need to check out those lots and be ready to bid on those at 3:00 Central. That's on DVAuction.com. And then, of course, Callaway Livestock Center in Kingdom City, Missouri is having their monthly special cow sale. That's at 6:00 p.m. And in conjunction with their special, they're going to be having a production sale from Wall Street Angus. They got about 125 head of registered bred heifers and bred cows there, plus another big offering of bred heifers, commercial bred heifers, young bred cows, young pairs. They've got bred cows that are heavy bred. They've got bred cows that are due to calve in the spring. They've just got a really nice offering there. Check all those sales out. Some of them might be overlapping, but they're all on DVAuction.com. Let's talk about your big feeder cattle sales on Wednesday. How about OKC West in El Reno, Oklahoma? Had 3,400 head, and that is a light run for them. It's really wet around there. I told you how much rain they had in central Oklahoma, and just really hard to get cattle out there, and it was wet. Didn't have a really good test of calves or yearlings, but the markets went right along, including this individual quote out of El Reno, Oklahoma. 53 steers weighed 821 and bring $260. That's 9 or 10 bucks over your index and a little bit heavier than that. Pretty good sale on those. Winter livestock in Dodge City, Kansas had 1,900. Of course, they had a good rain up there too, and it was wet to get cattle out. The market reporter there said that the light calves and the heavy yearlings were some higher. Middleweights were about steady there, but a good sale there in Dodge City, Kansas. Give you some individual quotes from all around, and all of these are very impressive, including North Arkansas Livestock in beautiful downtown Green Forest, Arkansas. They sell in one drag 242 three-colored steers. They weighed 795. I mean, pushing 800 pounds pretty hard at 258.50. Big time quote, especially coming in Arkansas, guys. How about Kist Livestock Auction in Mandan, North Dakota? I don't think we've ever talked about them, but they finally updated their clerical software, so now we can get their quotes. They sell 106 steer calves weighed 498 or 500 pounds at 357. That's as high as we've seen them anywhere here for a couple of weeks, guys. But how about Torrington Livestock Markets in Torrington, Wyoming? They sell 196 steers weighed 603 and bring 327. Wow. How about Bassett Livestock Auction? They've always got big quotes, kind of a light run for Bassett, but 58 steers weighed 883 at 267. Thought that was impressive. How about Hub City Livestock Auction in Aberdeen, South Dakota? 65 steers weighed 900 pounds at 263.75. Big time quote, but the most impressive quote that I saw or heard from anywhere, and actually come to me through Snapchat, and your Macrison No BS top quote for the day, come out of Osborne, Kansas. That's home of my friend Larry Kindig there, a member of the Kansas Cattlemen's Association, where I'm going to be speaking on Saturday. If you guys are interested in getting into a grassroots group in Kansas that is really all about producers and about doing the right thing, go to the Kansas Cattlemen's Association convention. It's going to be in Manhattan, Kansas this weekend on Friday and Saturday, and I'm going to be there Saturday to speak with them. But this is a load of heifers right off grass. Heifers, guys, 60 of them weighed 880 pounds and bring 247.10. And that's your feeder flash for Thursday.
My biggest account is Jeff Slatton, the owner of Beaver County Stockyards. For a while, we was selling him lots of antibiotics to doctor his cattle with. He was having basically a wreck at times. FerAppease comes along, we introduce it, he starts trying it out. Almost instantly, his vet bill reduced drastically, and the only thing that was changed up was FerAppease. I've also had other guys, cow-calf guys, this previous fall that tried it. Had one individual out here east of Beaver. First time he's ever tried it. He said he's always weaned his calves. They've bawled. They're right around his house. Can't sleep. This is the first year he's used it. He sent me a video one afternoon. The calves are all at the bunk. They're eating. They're spread out doing what they're supposed to do, and not a sound. So he was sold on it instantly. I've had several other reports of that. Lots of people saying that their cattle they act different. They're calmer, they handle easier, they're at the bunk, they're drinking. If your cattle are doing that, they're gaining, they're doing what they're supposed to do.